Hey, howdy ho, everybody. This is Postmortem Nightshade, one half of your wonderful ghastly ghost birds. And joining me today for another great episode is.
Slothro, let's go. How's it going?
Woohoo! Let's go! So excited to be back, folks. We are back for video number 2 in the wonderful year of 2026. We hope y'all's year is going okay so far. And today, Slothro, you want to fill us in on what our video topic is?
Yes, so today we're going to be going over the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2026 for each one of us individually. And also, we wanted to go over maybe like 3 or 6 that may not necessarily be ones that we're looking forward to going and seeing this year. But we're going to kind of discuss it, kind of see our thoughts on it, and kind of, I guess, get excited for what we have upcoming this year.
Yeah, we are very excited. I think 2026 has got a great lineup, a great slate of some really exciting movies. And, there's always probably going to be more that come out that are a surprise, but these are just the ones that we're aware of right now. So, we're starting off with our favorites, and I'm kicking it over to you, Slothro. These aren't necessarily in our order of what we're most excited for. It's just kind of a compilation of movies that we're looking forward to. But, Slothro, what is your first pick for 2026?
So my first pick for 2026 is probably one that's not near the beginning of the year at all. It is going to be Dune Part 3. So this one has... I was surprised. I forgot that it was coming out this year, but when I saw I was really excited because the first 2 parts I really enjoyed. So I'm very interested to see how this trilogy kind of finishes out because I'm pretty sure this should be the last one, right?
Yes, this is supposed to be, I'm pretty sure, the last one. And I actually also had Dune Part 3 on my list. I loved the first 2 Dune movies. They are some of my favorite movies of all time, actually, which was a surprise because when I went to see the first one, I had no idea, I hadn't read any of the books or anything. So yeah, I'm also really excited for Dune Part 3. Okay, and moving on, since I had one that Slothro also had. One of my other picks for the year is Ready or Not 2. Now, I know this is a sequel, and I actually will be talking about sequels that I'm not excited for. But this is a sequel I'm actually interested in now that I've seen the trailer. I think it played before one of the movies I saw recently, and I really like the first one. I think it's a really solid, fun, black comedy, slasher, hide and seek, cat and mouse type movie, and it's just a great time. So I'm really interested. I hope they can stick the landing with the second one, but yes, that's another one on my list for 2026.
Nice. I haven't actually heard much about that one, so I'll be interested to see how that one does. So the next one for me that I'm excited for is actually one that hasn't had a movie for a long while, and I haven't actually had the opportunities to watch the older movies of this one. It is Return to Silent Hill. So I really enjoyed watching playthroughs of the video games. I haven't had a chance to play through any of them, but I find them very fascinating, especially with all of the subtle storytelling that they do. At least in the video games. And so I'm very interested to see the kind of perspective and take they have with this movie because I'm pretty sure it's been quite a few years since the last Silent Hill movie. So,
Yeah, that's exciting. And that one comes out soon too, right?
yes, I think it comes out within the next 1 to 3 months, I believe.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited to see how that one is. And another one on my list for the year 2026, we've got Sunrise on the Reaping. Of course, they are bringing us back into the world of Hunger Games, which I was actually hesitant on at first, and then I really actually super enjoyed Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I saw the trailer for this. Again, looks beautiful, amazing, very Midsommar meets Hunger Games. So I think it'll be great. I love Haymitch's character. I'm super excited to see what they do with that. And I believe Ray or Ralph Fiennes, sorry, I mispronounced the name there, but I believe Ralph Fiennes plays President Snow, which I'm so pumped about. I think that'll be incredible. But yeah, just another one I'm really pumped for.
Nice. For me, my next big one that I'm looking forward to is actually the Street Fighter film. So I really enjoyed the Street Fighter games in general. I think they're a lot of fun, and I'm very interested to see because they made Mortal Kombat into a live action movie series. So I'm very interested to see kind of what aspects they take of the Street Fighter storyline and how they apply it to a live action setting. So it should be pretty exciting to see.
Nice. Yeah, I know that one's on a lot of people's lists, so I think that you and I will both be in the theater ready to see how Street Fighter is. Okay, and moving on here for me, a July release, of course, one that I think many people are anticipating is Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. Read the book in high school. I love Greek mythology. I love Percy Jackson, but the Odyssey just was never really like a book I super enjoyed in school. But I saw the trailer. not gonna lie, the trailer was a little bit, made me a little bit hesitant, but I have a lot of faith in Christopher Nolan, so I'm still putting it on my most anticipated. I hope that, it's as amazing as the rest of his work. So yeah, definitely excited to see how the Odyssey is.
That was actually one of my picks too, as one of the ones I'm looking forward to. But one that I'm actually really excited for, which is actually this month, and the reason why I'm so excited is because it's someone that I've followed for a very long time. It is the Iron Lung movie. Now, this movie, if a lot of you don't know, it's a movie that's created by a digital creator that's been in the YouTube space for a while. Obviously, his name is Markiplier. If none of you have ever heard of him before, he's very famous, and he's a very nice, interesting guy, and he has been working on a movie for the past few years. And this month actually is the release of it. So I'm very, very excited to see the aspect he takes for Iron Lung, because it's an adaptation of a indie video game, which is very interesting to see. So
Awesome. Yeah. I love Markiplier. I grew up watching him on YouTube all the time. I have seen, I think, almost every one of his videos, and I already bought my ticket. So very pumped for Iron Lung. And then moving on here, I believe this comes out in March. I know that some people were kind of mixed on the first one, but I am looking forward to Super Mario Galaxy. I had a really great time with the first Super Mario movie. My only biggest complaint was that Anya Taylor-Joy is such a great actress, but I thought that her Peach voice casting was a little lackluster, but maybe she'll get some redemption in the second one. But besides that, I loved the first one, and I'm actually super pumped. The trailer looks awesome. The visuals are really pretty, and they're introducing Rosalina. I'm super pumped. I don't have much else to say other than I'm excited for March to come.
I love as well how in the trailer they actually use the Prowler sound effect for Bowser Jr. So I'm very interested to see how. I'm a big fan of the video game, the Mario Galaxy video game. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this movie. That was one of mine actually. So the next one I wanted to go into a little bit of is actually one that I'm pretty sure you're interested in seeing as well. It's actually The Bride. And this one is, the reason why I'm so excited is because I had the opportunity to recently watch the Netflix's movie Frankenstein, which was a very, very well done, interesting take on the character that I had never really heard of, especially not being someone who's read the book. So I'm very interested to see, after watching that, how this movie performs, because I really enjoyed that Frankenstein movie, and I hope that this one is, for me, just another collection of adaptation to understanding, I guess, the character of Frankenstein and his whole universe, I guess.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail right on the head. I think it's in my top 3 of what I'm looking forward to the most. I know I said these weren't ranked, but The Bride is definitely, I am so pumped for this movie. I know it got delayed. I too absolutely loved Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and I love Christian Bale. I think the aesthetic and styling of this movie looks really interesting. So I believe this is another one coming out in March. March, I think, is going to be an exciting month for me. But yeah, also looking forward to The Bride. And then another one that I had here on my list that is actually a recent discovery for me is Undertone. I don't know much. I didn't want to know much. So I only watched a few 30 seconds of the trailer. A24 horror movie. It kind of sounds like there is some kind of podcaster who hears some audio files and then shenanigans start happening. I am a sucker for both A24 and Neon's horror collections lately have been incredible. So this is an A24 film. Super pumped. Don't know much about it, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Alrighty, now I'm on to my last 3 here on my list, and I'll start off with I'm excited to see Project Hail Mary. Now, I don't know fully what to expect with this movie. I think one of the reasons why I'm so excited is because I really enjoy watching Ryan Gosling play characters, especially finishing off this last year watching the Blade Runner movie, and I guess watching a bunch of movies with him. He's a very good actor, and so I'm hoping that this movie is going to be at least a very good time, a very fun watch.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard that's on a lot of people's lists. I know that it was also a popular book, so it'll be interesting to see for sure. I'm also down to my last 3 here. Obsession was the next one. From what I'm remembering, it's a YouTuber who made Milk and Cereal. Loved that movie. It's free on YouTube. Please go check it out. It's only like an hour, and it's a homegrown serial killer movie, and it's so good. Nice and short, and it's free, so that's awesome. We love that. And I think that YouTuber who turned into a director is now making the first feature full-length film from them that is getting pushed out to the world. So I am so excited. I know that the vague premise of this movie is that an individual makes a wish, and then it's kind of a love interest type wish, and then things start to go awry. After watching Milk and Cereal, I am so pumped. I will be buying my tickets early. I am just so excited. I also heard a lot of great buzz coming out of some of the festivals that this premiered at. So very excited for Obsession.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear how that movie goes. So for me, the next one I wanted to talk on is actually a new Resident Evil movie. Now, I know a lot of the Resident Evil movies and TV shows or whatever properties have been made in terms of film have been very mixedly received, which I can definitely see why after watching a few of them. They haven't really been the best portrayal of what the games have told in terms of their story, because the games do an amazing job. So I'm hoping that this adaptation of Resident Evil, because I'm pretty sure the story premise is even going to be a little bit different than what we normally see. So I'm excited to see where they go with this one.
I believe that Zach Kreger, who did last year's Weapons, is doing the new Resident Evil movie. And I think I just saw some news recently. It's not supposed to be connected to any of the games. So I'm hoping that Zach Kreger can continue his great track record and bring us a really good Resident Evil movie. So I'm with you on that, Slothro. Okay, and my second one, or second to last one here is the only reason this one made it on my list is because if you were able to catch my top 10 video or my top 10 movies of the year, then I really liked Fantastic Four. I think it's the best Marvel property that has come out since Endgame. It just really struck a chord with me. So that is the only reason that Avengers Doomsday is on my list for this year. I'm really excited. I also know they're bringing back the X-Men. That's another reason that I got really pumped for. I love X-Men, love Wolverine, love Logan, all of that stuff. I'm very interested. I really hope that this can be a Marvel property that gets me back on board. They've kind of lost me over the last few years, so holding out hope for Avengers Doomsday.
I was thinking of adding that onto my list, but this other one that I saw, I'm honestly more excited for, because I kind of feel the same with Marvel. So this last one I want to talk about is the second and I think it's possibly going to be a trilogy, but I don't know. It's Godzilla Minus Zero. The Godzilla Minus One movie, when it released, was an absolutely amazing film. It was very interested. It kept you gripped the whole time, and it was a very fun watch, especially for the filmography side of things. And it was just, the music was great. It was just a really good film. So knowing that the second one is releasing this year has me very excited to see, especially with the cliffhanger they left us on the last movie. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. No, I liked Godzilla Minus One, so I'm just as interested as you. Godzilla Minus Zero, I'll be curious to see how it does. All right, and my last one on my most anticipated, love Mike Flanagan. I think he does really great work. So I have his Clayface movie. I am a Batman fanatic. I love the Batman universe. One of my favorite TV shows of all time now is HBO's The Penguin. I thought it was a phenomenal miniseries. Please check it out. It's on HBO Max. So good. Such great work there. So, yeah, I know I heard, again, some news buzz recently. This is supposed to be rated R. Very exciting. I think that the Batman universe, Gotham, easily lends itself to an R rating. So I'm super pumped. Clayface is an interesting choice, which makes me even more excited because those unlikely stories, like The Penguin, with villains that, aren't as popular as, like, the Joker, always just have something really interesting and a different spin that I never could have predicted. So yeah, Clayface is on my list.
Awesome. And so I guess now we'll roll right into the ones that we're not as excited for or looking forward to. And so for me, they're all kind of in a similar ballpark. But I guess the first one I'll talk about is I'm not really excited for Toy Story 5. For me personally, I really enjoyed the first 3 Toy Story movies. And then after that, the fourth one, I just wasn't, it didn't hit with me as much as the first 3, which it could just be because I'm getting older and it's more geared towards kids. But I personally feel like it's not as strong as the first 3. So that's the reason why I'm not very excited for it.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Slothro. I also almost put that one on my least anticipated. I thought the fourth one was good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great animated movie, but I think the first 3 Toy Stories are classics, instant classics. And so I'm curious to see how they'll execute on the plot with technology. I know Pixar sometimes just like really is able to have those nuanced topics that appeal to the whole family, but I also am hesitant with Toy Story 5. And the first one on my least anticipated list here, I don't think this is anticipated for anybody. Let me know in the comments if, you're excited for it. Strangers Chapter 3. First 2 were not good. So, I think they're just trying to get this over with at this point. So I'm ready for it to be over with too.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about the movies. I haven't had a chance to watch them, but I've heard they're not very good. So I'm very interested to see how that goes too. For me, the next one I want to talk about is I'm not really excited for the Cat in the Hat. So I know it's once again this is a kids film, but for me personally, I never really watched much of the Cat in the Hat like products besides like Dr. Seuss stuff. So like Horton Hears a Who, the Lorax. I've seen stuff like that, and watching the trailer coming out for this new movie, it just didn't really. I don't know. It didn't strike the same chords that you get when you like I guess when I grew up reading the Dr. Seuss books. So I guess it's just like a more of a me thing, but I'm not really anticipating that movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know much about it, so I guess I guess we'll see how it goes. Next one on the list for me here is the live action remake of Moana. I adore and love. It's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time actually is the animated Moana from 2016. I think that easily cemented itself as a Disney classic. Amazing. The animation's beautiful, the story is great, the music's great. Like I just love it. And I am not a fan of these Disney remakes. I think the movie 2016 that only came out 10 years ago. I don't think that it is due for a live action update, not even close. So yeah, I'm really over the Disney live action remakes, but I'm sure it'll financially do well. They have been. I know Lilo and Stitch live action remake made I think like over $1 billion, so I'm sure it'll do well, but I'm just not looking forward to it.
That's actually one of them on my list. I feel like there's some things that you can make stuff live action, but you don't always need to because there's sometimes the whole art form of like animation, it's able to convey stuff that's not always like as easy to convey in live action. And I definitely agree that I don't think Moana needed a live action remake, so I'm not really anticipating that one either. But another movie I have on here that I'm not looking forward to is it's also another Disney movie, I'm pretty sure. It's called Hoppers. So for me, when I first saw this, I honestly thought it kind of gave me AI vibes. And so I was kind of thrown off a little bit at that. But upon watching the trailer and seeing the premise, I enjoy movies more like Wild Robot that kind of have a similar premise than this one. Like this one's fine, but it doesn't hit the same as like Wild Robot or even like something like what is it, Hunting Season? Is that what it's called? The old classic one with like the bear and the deer.
New season. Is that what it's called?
I think
or is it hunting season?
It's Hunting or New Season, but it's kind of trying to get in those kind of avenues, but it just doesn't hit the same. So I'm not really looking forward to that movie very much.
Yes, original Pixar concepts I think have been like a little bit hit or miss. So I'll be very interested to see. I am always down for something original, even if it doesn't land. So I think that this Pixar movie has that going for it. So I guess we'll see if they can stick the landing. Okay, I've only got two more here on my least anticipated. The Devil Wears Prada 2. Again, I said I would mention sequels. Here's one that I am not really sure why we need a sequel. I love the original. Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway. It's a classic, like early 2000s movies. It kind of sits with like Mean Girls, Clueless, Legally Blonde, all of those kind of really great early girl power movies from the early 2000s that I just love, adore, rewatched 100,000 times. So I'm not really sure why we needed a sequel. I know Freakier Friday was pretty mid, so I guess Disney's trying it again with Devil Wears Prada 2, but I'm not looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Also, I do agree with you on original IPs. I definitely think it's important to continue to make original IPs because I feel like a lot of, like at least recently, IPs have been kind of stagnant lately, so it's always nice to see something new pop up. But speaking of not that, another movie on my list is Minions 3. I do not know why we are getting more than one Minions movie. I never saw the second one, but I'm assuming it did well enough for them to warrant making a third one, so I am just not the biggest fan of those movies in general, so this was kind of one I saw and it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. That I don't blame you. It is insane to me. I love the original Despicable Me. I think it's really funny. It's really good. I quote it all the time. But it is crazy to me how much that series, that franchise has exploded. And I was not even aware that we were getting a Minions 3, but like you, I'm not really surprised. I'm not looking forward to it though. Okay, and finishing out my least anticipated list is Thread and Insidious Tale. I really like the first Insidious. I think it's a really good horror movie, and not just a really good horror movie. I think it's a really good PG-13 horror movie. And then kind of after that, the second one's still pretty good. Okay, I like the second one, and then they just kind of, slowly go downhill from that. Horror spin-offs, I not let me know in the comments. I'm not thinking of any right now. Are there really any super successful horror spin-offs that you can think of? But yeah, I just think that they have milked the Insidious IP for all it's worth, and I think they're going to keep doing it until they stop making money, but I don't know if that day will ever come. So that is the last one on my list of least anticipated for 2026.
Alrighty, and then my last one is also another continuation film of an IP. It is going to be the Angry Birds 3 movie. I didn't know they were making a third one. I've only seen the first one, and it was not very good. And so I'm very surprised they made a second one, and I'm even more surprised now that they're making a third one. I didn't know that there was so much lore to the Angry Birds world that it warranted having 3 movies worth. But I enjoyed the game growing up as a kid, of course, the classic Angry Birds and Angry Birds 2. But I definitely don't think, kind of like Minions 3, I'm kind of just wondering why it's a thing. But yeah, that's the last one on my list for ones I'm not anticipating.
Alrighty, well, let us know in the comments. We are very excited for lots of movies in 2026, as you can tell. We're less excited for some other movies too, but we're going to try and focus on the positive ones. But let us know in the comments. What movies are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to in 2026? But you can find me, Postmortem Nightshade. I am on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I do movie review content. Movie breakdown content is my vibe. And Slothro, where can they find you?
You guys can pop over to me on YouTube. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Awesome. But thank you everybody so much for joining us. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to follow along and listen to us yap about some more films, some more things that we're interested in the world of pop culture and movies. But we are so appreciative that you took time out of your day to spend with us, and we will see you all next week.
Later.
Bye!